we need to explain to people, because I tried from my shows, I tried to show them each one of these a picture. And now you explained everything in this documentary, but we need to repeat again how this new rebranded communism planning to take over planet, they succeed to take over part of the United States and European Union. But it's important for people to understand, because they don't see it. They don't have a time to take a deep look and to recognize it, especially these young people who doesn't have experience with communism. Can you please repeat with your own words how exactly you came to the idea to make the documentary and what is in this documentary?
I never planned on making a documentary, but I did work on my book, Beneath Sheep's Clothing, as I mentioned, between 2009 and 2022. And it was based on the work from my master's thesis. And it was focusing on the playbook, the communist playbook to destroy Christianity. But as it turns out, Western civilization is built on a foundation of Christian values and ethics. And so destroying Christianity as a foundation, that's one of the key parts of preparing Western civilization to fall to communism. When I first wrote, I wrote most of my book between 2010, 2011. And the word woke was not even a word. None of that stuff had really come into prominence yet in America. And I actually couldn't finish my book. I set it aside. I did not finish my book until the end of 2021, beginning of 2022. That's where I then did all the research and understanding how all of this weird woke stuff, critical race theory, queer theory, gender theory, was all Marxist. I highly recommend, and you would have to have a pretty good command of English, but all the works of James Lindsay, who is very heavily featured in my film Beneath Sheep's Clothing. He did so much groundbreaking research in showing all of the scholarship in this whole development of this whole new Marxist framework that we have in the West. But the things that people can recognize, so you look at the Bolsheviks and you look at modern day woke social justice warriors, it runs on grievance and resentment and a destruction. We're going to tear down statues. We're going to just, tear down this system of power over here. It's a destructive impulse. It's based on grievance and resentment in the name of helping the poor and the oppressed, or people of color, or queer people. It's in the name of helping some kind of oppressed class that you're willing and you're encouraged. You can commit acts of violence. And under with the Bolsheviks, it was great. You could murder. You could do all kinds of things if you were doing it in the name of the proletariat. And same thing with the woke Marxist revolution we have going on in Western nations. We have a whole group, Antifa, here in America, and I've heard that they're international as well. And they are basically, it doesn't make any sense, they are anarchists, which is somehow fusing communism and anarchy. But they're basically the most radicalized leftist young people who are trained in military tactics to go and be the foot soldiers on the ground to terrorize conservatives. And we even have that very similar to, some of the things that happened in more classical Marxism and revolutions. The solution for all of this is for all of these young people and all older people too. If we've been had this groomed into us to have this hatred against these oppressive systems of power and oppressors, we just need to let that go and forgive anyone who may have hurt us. That forgiveness is a huge part of sidestepping all of this disaster. And then, of course, we, in terms of our societies, to protect our societies, need to set strong boundaries with all of these leftist ideologies to push them out of the schools, push them out of our churches, push them out of our media. I mean, this is a monumental task. But in the meantime, anyone with kids, at least in the United States, I recommend people homeschool their kids. It's going to take decades to get this out of the schools. Best case scenario.